Hey folks, so I wanted to do this video here. I got some of my helper dogs in the yard, and I wanted to talk about punishment, corrections, consequences, and where do people go wrong in oftentimes thinking they are correcting the dog, but they're actually not correcting the dog. They think they're punishing the dog, but they're actually not. And what do I mean? What you'll see a lot of times is something like this. Like, the dog's barking, the person says enough, the dog keeps barking, the person says no, the dog stops barking. Okay? The dog starts barking, the person says enough, the dog keeps barking, the person says no. So, what is happening here is the dog is clearly understanding, apparently, hey, when you say no, I need to stop. But what they're not understanding is, I don't want you to start doing that again after you've stopped. And so I want to tell you a little bit of a story, an analogy that might help you understand where I'm going with this. Let's say, for example, we were a police officer, and we were noticing somebody was speeding dangerously fast. So we get behind the guy, and he pulls over, and we say to him, sir, you have to stop speeding. You can't speed. It's dangerous. And the guy says, okay, I understand. I won't speed ever again, I promise. So we let him go. A week goes by, we see the same guy speeding again. So we get behind him, go on. We pull him over, and he says, oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot. I'm not supposed to be speeding. And you go, yep, you're right. You're not supposed to be speeding. It's dangerous. He says, okay, don't worry. I promise. I'll never speed ever again. Okay, no problem, sir. We let him go. Now this goes on, and eventually we show up, and the guy's crying hysterically. Please, I'll never speed again, I promise. And we go, okay, no problem. I'll let you go, sir. Now we pull him over 3 or 4 times. He's crying, and every time we say, no problem, sir. I understand you're upset. You made a mistake. Let me just let you go. Finally, we go to our sergeant, and we tell him, Sergeant, I'm a little bit confused here. There's this guy, he's speeding, he's driving dangerously fast. I keep telling him to stop speeding. I keep pulling him over. He says he understands. He even cries. I mean, he's really upset. But he keeps speeding. I don't know why he keeps speeding. At this point, the sergeant would ask him, the officer, hey, did you ever give him a consequence? He says, well, yeah, I pulled him over. I told him to stop. The officer says, okay, cool. So you made him stop speeding when he was speeding. He said, yep, I made him stop. Okay, cool. Did you create a consequence after he stopped so that he knew that even though he stopped, he had still made a mistake? And the officer said, well, no. When I pulled him over, he wasn't speeding anymore, so why would I give him a ticket? He stopped. And the sergeant says, because, sir, that's not how punishment works. And even after we've stopped the behavior, there is still a consequence. Do you mean to tell me the police are going to show up? I'm breaking into this house here. I come out of the window with my hands up, and I go, okay, guys, I'm going to stop breaking into the house now, and they're just going to let me go? Well, no. They're going to say, sir, but you have to face the consequence now for your crime. You may be scared of the consequence. You may be crying. But if I don't give you a consequence, you may not understand that, you can't do this again. And hey, man, next time you break into somebody's house, you may get shot. Next time you're speeding that fast, you could, crash your car and die or kill someone. So even though you stopped, when I pull you over, I'm still going to give you a consequence. And I am going to have to figure out, is it a $50 ticket, a $100 ticket, a $1,000 ticket? Is it your car getting impounded? What consequence is it that's going to be enough where you understand that this is something we don't ever want you to do ever again? We don't want to have to put up flashing speed limit signs. We don't want to put up a sign that says, hey, speed patrolled by radar. No, we just want you to stop speeding so that, we could focus on doing other things like helping, stop the drug epidemic. And it's the same thing with our dog, let's say I have a dog where I tell him to stop barking and he doesn't stop barking, and then I say no, and then he does. But then there's no consequence. What's going to happen is the dog's going to start barking again, and now the dog is maybe going to be barking more intensely. Typically, the dog's going to get more intense as time goes on because they learn, hey, I can bark, and as long as I stop, like, it's fine. And I did actually get some attention here from mom or dad. They did say something to me. Maybe they even came over here and talked to me. I got attention from them. It has to be the opposite. The dog barks, we say no, they stop barking. Even though they stop barking, let's just use the squirt bottle as an example. We spray them with the squirt bottle one time in the face. We walk away, we put the squirt bottle away. We wait. The dog barks again. We say no, we go over there, we squirt them 2 times in the face. We put the squirt bottle away, we leave. We wait. So we wait, the dog barks again. We say no, we go over there, we spray them 7 times in the face. As we're spraying them, the dog's looking at us. Hey man, why are you still spraying me, man? I stopped barking. We don't say anything. We just stop spraying, we walk away, we put the squirt bottle away. We let the dog figure out what is going on. We don't sit there holding the squirt bottle, threatening the dog. We don't have the squirt bottle out on a countertop. I mean, that would be equivalent to me being a police officer waiting on the side of the road, with my lights flashing, saying, hey, everybody, don't be speeding today. I'll pull you over. Nope, we hide the squirt bottle, or maybe we even hide, just like a police officer would hide when they're working on that stop sign by my house here that people keep running through. The dog barks, we say no. The dog stops, we go over. We squirt them 12 times in the face. We put the squirt bottle away, we leave, we wait, the dog doesn't bark. We begin to enjoy what that feels like, to have a dog that understands not to do something. We begin to understand what it feels like to have a dog where we've set a consequence, and they understand what that consequence is. And as time goes on, we begin to have that conversation with our dog on a variety of topics, helping them understand. When I say the word no, that means never. And if there is any confusion about what the word no means, that means stop that tomorrow, well, then I got to be clear. Now, here's the thing, folks, which is always interesting to me. After getting that speeding ticket all those times, or after that dog's barking a bunch of times, what we notice then is if the dog were to stop barking and I was to say no, and I was going to go over there and spray them once with the squirt bottle, that squirt bottle spray would be much more valuable to them. That $50 ticket or that cop pulling us over is much more meaningful to us when we know, no. When we know that there is something that will happen if we do not stop doing what they asked us to stop doing. These dogs know that when I say no and they're chewing on a stick, I don't need to take the stick away, I don't need to grab them, I don't need to touch them. When I say no, that means stop doing it. No. And if you do it again, there will be a consequence. Now, the consequence in this case with him was something as simple as me just bumping him with my knee. He just needed a little bit of a reminder. And had I not had serious conversations before with Bear, who's an extremely strong-willed lab, he wouldn't respect that little bump from my knee. So, these are things I want you to think about, folks, and we're going to keep putting videos out here, just talking about these things, helping open up a discussion so we can begin to understand the feelings and the emotions that are perhaps limiting us from succeeding with our dog and having that life that we all dream about with our dog, where we could take them everywhere and trust them to make the right decision, whether we're reminding them constantly or not. Remember, as always, folks, we don't blame them, we train them, and we're always available here, followtheleadercanine.com, to help you either remotely or in person if you're in Southern California with your dog training needs. Until next time, folks.